Hello everyone, good morning to all. So from today we are going to start your actual TY MB333 Enzymology syllabus. Hello, myself Assistant Professor PK Gakkar from KJS College Department of Microbiology. So we'll start our enzymology first credit, that is enzymes, and in that we are going to study your first point is what are enzyme, and you have to determine the structure of protein present at the active site, and there are two different methods, physical and chemical methods. So in this lecture, in this PPT, we will see what are enzyme, structure of enzymes, and the methods to determine the enzyme. One by one we will see the what are the methods included to determine the active site, to determine the structure of protein present at the active site. So yes, in last, let's start our first chapter. It's quite interesting to see, and very new and different concepts are there, which the base is your last year base, that is what are enzyme, salient features of the enzyme. So we will recall quickly what are enzymes. Enzymes are nothing but these are the biocatalyst. They act as the biological catalyst which increase or enhance the rate of the reaction without being involved in that, isn't it? Means very minute or very small amount of enzyme is been involved, and it can be reused, it can be recycled. It just carry out all your metabolic reactions internally, and even in vivo also, in laboratory also, you can use the enzyme to carry out the certain reactions, and it can be reused. So that is the main characteristic of the enzyme. Plus they play a vital role or key role in our metabolic reactions, in our body reactions. And if we will see the proper definition of enzymes, then these are the soluble colloidal organic biomolecules. Colloidal in the sense these are the large biomolecules produced within an organism capable of catalyzing a specific chemical reaction. In short, they act as the biocatalyst. Means what you will keep in mind, these are the soluble organic molecule produced within the cell. Some enzymes are produced inside the cell, some organisms are produced extracellularly. So depending on the production of that enzyme, we purify the enzyme. The methods are the purification methods are depend on the basis of the production of the enzyme. Getting it? So this is the general introduction of the enzyme, that they act as the biocatalyst. These are the soluble, these can be reused, and even very small amount of enzyme is also sufficient to carry out the reaction, and it can be recycled, it can be reused. Okay, very small amount of enzyme can also be reused. So this is the enzyme. If we will see the structure of enzyme, then it is divided into three categories: primary structure, secondary structure, and tertiary structure. Now what is primary structure? Primary structure is the straight linear peptide chain of amino acid. Means what? More than one amino acids are linked together by the peptide bond. That is the primary structure of the amino acid or primary structure of the protein. Enzymes are protein, that we have already shown in the last year, that enzymes are protein. So if we will see the example of primary structure of the protein, the well-known example is hemoglobin, which is responsible to carry the oxygen to different parts of the body. Okay. Secondary structure. Secondary structure, it consists of the more than one linear peptide chain which is linked together, okay, by the hydrogen bonds. It mostly includes alpha helix and beta plates. Okay, we will see the secondary structure of the protein, then it consists of two chains, alpha helix is there and beta sheets are there. त्याचे example जर बघितलं तर then same example is there, that is alpha helix and beta sheets, more than one. And last is tertiary structure. In tertiary structure, it is actually the 3D structure of the protein. The amino acid chains are linked in such a way that they represents like the 3D structure, a dimensional structure when you rotate, or when it is in the stagnant plane. still it look like the 3D structure. The example of tertiary structure is the myoglobin. Myoglobin is also responsible to carry the oxygen to different parts of the body. It is quite similar to the hemoglobin. So these are the general structure of the enzymes or of the proteins. Okay. Now next is methods to determine amino acid residues at the active site. Now active site means what, that we will see first. If we will see the structure of the enzyme, it consists the cleft. Okay, cleft in the sense the gap is there, the space is there in the structure of enzyme where substrate or inhibitor binds and the reaction is been carried out. When substrate is been bind, there is formation of the product, and when inhibitor is bind, the reaction will be stopped, the reaction will be paused there. Okay, so we have to determine the amino acid residue present at the active site. Obviously at the active site of the enzyme, amino acids are present. Okay, generally which amino acids are found? Histidine is there, cysteine is there, aspartate, arginine and glutamic acid. These are the most common amino acid found in the active site of the enzyme. Okay, active site means what? It is the cleft. Okay, if we see the structure of the enzyme, it is the cleft or it is the space where substrate or inhibitor gets bind. So this is just general introduction of the active site. Now our main aim is to determine the amino acid residue. In short, what we have to determine? We have to determine the structure of protein, the structure of the enzyme. Enzymes are the protein. Okay, so once you determine the structure of protein, automatically you will get the structure of the enzyme and the active site and the amino acid present at the active site. Two most common methods which are used to determine are X-ray crystallography and NMR spectroscopy. These are the physical method, these are the machinery method. With the help of that, we can determine the structure of the protein. Now in today's lecture, we will see just one, and in next video we will see the second, NMR spectroscopy, that is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. Let's turn to the main our aim, that is X-ray crystallography. What is X-ray crystallography? It is actually X-ray crystallography help us to visualize the protein structure or any larger molecular structure. It may be DNA, it may be protein, it may be atomic structure, anything. With the help of this, means large organic molecular structure, we can determine by the X-ray, by the rays of the X, that is the X-ray crystallography. Now why the name is given X-ray crystallography? Because now see, there are different lights. Visible light is there, X-ray light is there, infrared are there. So his spectrum, like rainbow has the 7 color, in the same way these are the spectrum. Okay, visible light. If we will see the visible light, the range of visible light is 300 nanometer. And the range of X-ray is 0.1 nanometer. There is quite difference between these two range, 300 and 0.1 nanometer. Okay, so by this visible light, we can't see we can't determine the molecular structure at very deep level. It is necessary to use the advanced rays, to use the advanced technique, and the advanced technique is your X-ray, which has the range of 0.1 nanometer. Okay, so my question, I want to tell you one thing, that X-ray, what is X-ray crystallography? It helps us to visualize the protein structure, not only protein structure but any molecular structure, any organic molecular structure can determine by the X-ray crystallography. Why X-ray crystallography? Why not other rays? Why not visible light? Why not infrared light? Dusra lights ka nahi. Why only X-ray? That is very big question. The answer behind this question is, that is, visible light has the range of 300 nanometer and X-ray has the range of 0.1 nanometer, and visible light is not sufficient to introduce, it will not give you the deep structure, it will not determine the basic or orientation of the protein. Means the crystal is there, it will not bombard, the visible light can't bombard it everywhere on that crystal. isn't it? So it is not visible light, it doesn't play any role to determine the structure of the protein. The better light or the better use to determine the structure of protein is X-ray crystallography, okay, or X-rays. Now here I have given you a figure which is a procedure you can say, or mechanism you can say, what exactly happens. That is the diagram of that, what actually happens when you bombard the X-ray to the crystal. So that is the general diagram. And yes, now we will come to the procedure. But before going to the procedure, I want to tell you one thing. Why crystal? Why not other? As we saw that X-ray ka visible ka nahi. In the same way, why crystal? Why the name is given X-ray crystallography? What is the use of crystal? Why not other agent we can use? Why only crystal we can use? So the answer behind this question is, see, crystal, it is the, if you will see the structure of crystal, it is like a cubic shape. जसं क्यूब असतो आपला, डाईस असतो, okay. That is the type of the crystal, or that is the structure of the crystal, like the dice or like the cube, okay. So now large molecules, suppose now we'll say DNA or protein, large molecules in our body, they change continuously, they revolve, their bond changes, they are not stagnant, their movement is continuously, they are revolving continuously, they are changing, their properties are changing. So in every day, if we will see the structure of the protein, it will change, okay. So to determine the structure of the protein, it must be stagnant, it must be fixed, it must be conform, or it must be adder. मग हे adder किंवा stagnant हे कुठं केलं जातं, तर in the crystal, okay. Crystal is the place. As human beings live in the house, obviously they are not stagnant, but in the same way, these proteins are being localized, are being situated in the crystal, so that they are stagnant, they remain constant, they are freezed, okay. Protein is not been moved, क्रिस्टल मूव केला जातो. तुम्हाला जर प्रोटीनचा प्रत्येक प्लेन डिटरमाइन करायचा असेल तर प्रोटीन हा मूव नाही केला जात, तर तो क्रिस्टल मूव केला जातो. क्रिस्टल इज बीन मूव्ड फ्रॉम एव्हरी साइड. ॲज इट इज द 3D स्ट्रक्चर, it consists of different planes, okay. So that is there, yes, that is there. If we will see the, sorry, it has been went much further, yes, so it has been went further. Now imagine the cube. Imagine the cube, that is crystal, your crystal is there, and in that crystal your protein is being formed. Why we fix the protein, why we form the protein into the crystal? So that so that the protein structure remains stagnant and we can determine the structure of the protein, okay. Now see, I'll tell you the general mechanism of X-ray crystallography. Here you can see X-ray beam is been bombarded to the crystallized molecule, okay. Crystallized molecule, crystal is there, and inside that crystal protein is been fixed, protein is been firmly attached. And what happens, we move the crystal so that that X-ray beam can be bombarded at every plane of the crystal, at every part of the protein. Due to the bombardment, what will happen, the light will scatter, the light will diffract, okay. There is diffraction. Now in physics also this point or this concept has been there. When you bombard the light onto the X-ray, or when you bombard the light onto the crystal, it will reflect, okay. काही part reflect होईल, काही part refract होईल, okay. So the refracted is nothing but equal to diffraction. Refraction and diffraction he concept quite similar, okay. So from the crystal the light is been bombarded, and ती जी light आहे ती कुठं fall होती, onto the X-ray film, okay. The diffraction pattern is observed on the X-ray film, and you can see the spots also. At the end of the arrows, the spot is been present, so that spot indicate the intensity spot, which is very important to interpret the final result, okay. So this is the general diagram. You bombard the X-rays onto the crystal, and that crystal contain the protein structure, and the crystal is been revolved so that the bombard light fall on every part of the plane. So some light will be diffract, and some light will be reflected onto the X-ray film. And the spots are there. The spots are very important to determine the structure of the protein. Okay, so this is there. Now what I want to tell you, the exactly, if you'll see the procedure of X-ray crystallography, first what we have to do, crystallize a protein. Crystallize a protein means what? You have to check first whether the protein is in purified form or not. If it's not, then purify. How you will purify the protein? By using certain chemicals. Saturated म्हणजे काय? Protein mostly हा dissolve form मध्ये पाहिजे, that is the crystallize the protein, purify the protein, and after purifying you have to put that protein onto the crystal. Okay, and then X-rays are generated and directed towards the crystallized protein. As I've told you earlier, crystal has been rotated, and pattern on the emulsion due to scattering reveals much information about the structure of protein, and an electron density map is created based on measured intensities of diffraction pattern on the film. Now what is this? Last 2 points थोडेसे difficult है, and that last 2 points give you the structure of the protein. Okay, how they gives you the structure of protein? See, now we'll come, we'll see, as I told you, the X-rays are being bombarded onto the crystal, the spots are being generated. Electron density means what? Electron present onto that protein. Okay, now imagine the 3D structure of the cube is there, and inside that cube your protein has been placed. Okay, you will bombard the X-ray. When you will bombard that X-ray, you will not place into the one field, you will rotate the crystal so that प्रत्येक पार्ट, प्रोटीनच्या प्रत्येक पार्टला काय पाहिजे, प्रोटीनच्या प्रत्येक पार्टमध्ये ते एक्सरेज हे गेले पाहिजे, सो दॅट इट विल स्कॅटर द बॉम्ब. ओके, और इट विल स्कॅटर द रेज. ओके, अँड वन्स द रेज इज बीन स्कॅटर्ड, त्या फिल्मवरती जेव्हा रेज पडतात, दॅट इज द मेन पॉईंट. नाव इफ रेज एका प्लेनमध्ये रेज खूप जास्त पडले, इट इंडिकेट्स दॅट स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द प्रोटीन इज व्हेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. And if the diffracted rays in particular plane is less onto that film, it indicates that the protein structure is less complicated and might be present or might not be present. Okay, or it is less complicated. How you will interpret the result? See, once again I'll tell you, if onto the X-ray film the diffracted rays are more, ओके, द डिफ्रॅक्टेड रेज आर मोर, म्हणजेच काय, तिथं इलेक्ट्रॉन डेन्सिटी जास्त आहे, म्हणजेच काय, तिथं प्रोटीनची कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी जास्त आहे. हा जो अमायनो ॲसिड तिथं जो प्रेझेंट असेल, जो प्रोटीन तिथं प्रेझेंट असेल, मीन्स अमायनो ॲसिड जो प्रेझेंट असेल तो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड असेल. ओके, और इट इज प्रेझेंट इन लार्ज अमाऊंट. द अमायनो ॲसिड प्रेझेंट देअर, इट विल बी प्रेझेंट इन दी लार्ज अमाऊंट ॲज कम्पेअर्ड. आणि ज्या एरियामध्ये लेस डिफ्रॅक्शन पॅटर्न तुम्ही ऑब्झर्व करताय, इट इंडिकेट्स दॅट तिथं अमायनो ॲसिड हे कमी प्रेझेंट आहे, अमायनो ॲसिडची जी चेन आहे ती कमी प्रेझेंट आहे. ओके, सो डिपेंड ऑन दॅट डिफ्रॅक्शन पॅटर्न यू आयडेंटिफाय द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द प्रोटीन. देन व्हॉट इज द रोल ऑफ दॅट इंटेन्सिटी स्पॉट? Now intensity spot, here two main words are very important to interpret the result. First is your diffraction pattern और डिफ्रॅक्शन अँगल. तुम्ही डिफ्रॅक्शन पॅटर्नलाच डिफ्रॅक्शन अँगल म्हणतात, जी मी तुम्हाला आत्ता जी कन्सेप्ट सांगितली, दॅट इज द डिफ्रॅक्शन पॅटर्न और डिफ्रॅक्शन अँगल. ॲट वॉट अँगल द मोर रेज आर डिफ्रॅक्टेड. ओके, दॅट इज द डिफ्रॅक्शन अँगल. अँड सेकंड इज द इंटेन्सिटी स्पॉट. What is that intensity spot? Your intensity spot helps to determine the structure of the protein. Yes, your intensity spot helps to determine the structure of the protein. So that is there, means the main diffraction angle is very important in that, and the more diffraction angle, the more complex protein is present, and if the spot is also the more in that particular area, spot is more, same result you will indicate. Why the spot is been formed there? Because of electron density. Why electron density? Because at that, now see, every atom has the electrons, they are revolving around the nucleus, isn't it? So if electrons are more, definitely the density, the map, the gradient will be more, the diffraction pattern will be also more. Why electrons are more? Because that amino acid may be complex, or तिथं amino acid हे जास्त present असतील. Okay, so this is the main aim. This is the main target, how to determine. And mechanically onto that, when your that diffraction data is been collected, म्हणजे ती film तिथं डाटा कलेक्ट केला जातो and it is been computerized, the map is been obtained, and finally you will identify that what amino acids are present at your active site or in the protein structure at the particular plane, what amino acids are present. So this is the general how to determine the how to determine the amino acid at the active site. If we will see the application of this technique, it is definitely it is used to determine the structure of the protein, but on the other side it is also used in the dairy. Why in the dairy? To determine the consistency, or to determine the nature of the milk. So for that it has been used. I will not go in detail because applications are not included in your syllabus. Plus it is also used to determine it is also used in the HIV treatment of the, or analysis of the HIV. Here the virus HIV, the enzyme which is responsible to cause the HIV, that enzyme structure has been determined by using this technique. Okay, getting it? The virus which is responsible, the enzyme which is responsible to cause the HIV into the human beings, to determine the to determine that structure of the enzyme or the protein, we use even we use the X-ray crystallography, and the same protocol is being followed. Just you have to keep in 2 points in mind, that is diffraction angle and intensity spot, and the data which has been generated, it is analyzed in the computerized way, and you get the final answer, that what are the amino acid present at the active site. Okay, before starting the next video, I'll tell you in next video even a short process of how we have done we will revise X-ray crystallography, and then in next video we will see NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance. Okay, so yes, thank you. Yes, this is the NMR, which we will discuss further. NMR will discuss further. Yes.